have a little gander then. So, I've already started to open this box. Have a little look what we've got. This amount of packaging. Okay. One dry pod. So should be two of them. More copious amounts of packaging. Second dry pod. So, as I said in the video about styling, changing to 10-inch wheels, so you've got to change the dry flange to do that. So I should have the rest of the parts for the conversion kit. Brake caliper, mini spares, own brand, one off, two off, discs, I realise they are tiny but they're perfect. And then brake pipe kit. So this should be a full kit to do the whole Mini, because there's currently no brake pipes on this at all. They're all got little numbers on them, so hopefully it should be okay to figure out. I was going to do them all myself, but for the cost of this, they're all pre-flanged, they're done, they're all cut to the right length, so I figured it was easy enough to just buy this kit. About 100 quid this full brake pipe kit. So believe it or not, all these parts here are basically about £1 worth. Doesn't look like a lot when it comes in a couple of boxes. Wheel arches. So, wheel arches I've gone for are wooden picket style ones. I'll show you what I mean by that if you're not familiar. So that's what they are essentially, molded on, and they fit like so. Okay. I'm not actually sure how they fix on, so let's have a look into that. More brake pipes. That's a full kit, front, rear, and there's a clutch hose in there. And also to do the brake pipes, I needed some of these little unions. So that goes onto your front subframe, and essentially what happens is your banjo bolt goes through there and goes into the top of your, that goes down to your brake caliper. Then one side goes up to your master cylinder, and that goes to the other side of passenger. So there. Brake pads, very good. T-unions, same deal with them. Obviously, one's for your rear subframe. So it comes in from the front of the car, up under that, passenger side, driver's side, and that's the same essentially from master cylinder into this, and then that goes onto that other one that I showed you a minute ago. Wheel nuts and washers to suit those Mamba style wheels that I've got. All packaging. Seat belts. No seat belts in the car, so two new sets of quite self-explanatory. Steering wheel boss. Very nice. Those come with the screws, so it's good. What else we got in here? Okay, so I assume the clevis pins are for brake calipers, and the screws must be for the dry flanges. Oh yes, couldn't even remember what this was myself then. So in order to bring the rear of the car out a bit, got some new brake drums that I've already got a spacer built into them, rather than sticking on a spacer. Obviously these are already built in, so should be a bit easier. Final box. Service parts. Oil filter. New spark plugs. BP70Ss. One grade colder or hotter, whichever way it is. Oil, self-explanatory. Nice new HT leads, plain black. And a silicone vacuum line, I've lost that. Silicone rocker cover gasket. I think these are way better than the cork ones. I actually made one of these myself before they started making them. I just used a bit of arch trim, but don't slip out like the cork ones, and you can reuse them over and over, so pretty good really. So gotta get it all on the car now. That should be it, pretty much done. So, this is how to convert your classic Mini from 12-inch to 10-inch wheels in a few minutes. Probably one of the easiest things you can do. Jack it up. first things first. So this has already got a 10-inch wheel on it because I was test fitting them, but usually due to the size of the disc and the brake caliper, you can't fit a 10-inch wheel on a Mini that didn't come with it. So you have to change all your brakes and your drive flange. So I'm going to show you how you do it. Good, cross-threaded nut. Right. So this is a disc that would come on a Mini that's got 12-inch wheels or bigger, 8.4 inches in diameter. They're easy to take off. Take your split pin out. Obviously this car's just being restored, so it's not fully together anyway. Take off your castellated nut. It'll come. That. You've got tapered washer, so both of them come out. Disc, drive flange comes straight off. So there's no caliper on this at the minute. Right, let me grab the new disc, show you what to do. New disc, old disc, obviously considerably smaller, 7.5 inches in diameter. 8.4 inches in diameter. And when you buy these conversion kits, this one's from Mini Spares, they're quite cheap, about 200 quid. Comes with the calipers, discs, drive flanges, and this drive flange just screws on with these 4 screws. So it slots over the 4 wheel studs. Put that on, put some Loctite on, screw it to the disc. So that's quite straightforward. Let me just get a bit of brake cleaner to stick on that, and there's a bit of rust in these caliper bolt holes, so I'm just going to put tap through them just to clean them out. If you didn't know, all new brake discs come with basically wax and grease on them to stop them rusting in the box. So if you don't clean that off, obviously your new brakes are going to be terrible. Clean that, leave that to one side. So just from my knowledge of Minis, I know that this is 3/8. So give me 3/8 tap out my box. 3/8. Lubricate it up a bit. Stick it in the drill. Speed 1. You just sort of feed it in quite gently until you know you've got it. Lovely. So that's that, tapped, nice and clean, ready for the bolt to go through. And then all you do is basically put your new disc on. I'll probably just put a little bit of grease on your splines on your drive shaft. And on your threads for your castellated nut. Splines in your flange, just push straight on. That's it. Bolt your caliper up. New mini spares caliper, own brands. If you didn't know, brake calipers are handed, so right hand, left hand. That's just dictated by the bleed nipple essentially, because obviously if you've got a bleed nipple at the bottom, air's going to rise to the top of the caliper, you're never going to get it out. So bleed nipple needs to be at the top. So this is driver's side. And just put a tiny bit of Loctite on your bolts just to make sure that they don't wind themselves out. Snug them up. Don't have to be silly tight, or you just strip bolts. You shouldn't have any problems, but just make sure that the disc is running in the center of the caliper. If it's offset, then you might have to space the caliper or the disc, but it should run parallel through the slot, not stacked to either side. Which that's perfect. So bang your castellated nut back on. Get big socket and torque this up, but best time to do that really is either to put the engine in gear so you lock the drive shafts, or once you've bled and done all your brakes, get someone to stamp on the brakes, get your brake bar and your torque wrench on there. Job's good. And so brake pads. This all comes in the kit. Exactly the same. Slot one in one side, slot one in the other side. Two split pins. Slide them through the caliper, through the disc, through the pad, sorry, through the second pad, and put a bit of wiggle in. Out the other side of the caliper. Same again. Perfect. Just bend over your split pins so brake pads don't come out. Perfect. You can now put your 10-inch wheel back on, and jobs are good. And I'm also putting in new brake lines, so I'm going to do that now. But if you already had brake lines on it and you were swapping what you had, you'd simply just screw that back in. So I'm going to put my brake line in now. Brake lines are also handed because this side has a banjo bolt through to basically split So copper washer, obviously a new one. Half-inch spanner. Just snug again. People have a habit of really over tightening stuff on cars, and it's when you just strip bolts and break them. It just has to be tight. You don't have to hang off it. If you don't know how these work, not threaded externally and then internally, so male and female threads. So that goes through the subframe, put your bolt on, that then essentially holds your brake line to your subframe, like so, and then your brake line screws into the top of there. And if you've got one of them annoying kinks in your brake line, this is how you fix it. Well, this is how you avoid it basically. You screw it tight into your caliper first, then you slide it up through the hole in the subframe, and your brake line is perfect. Whereas if you undo it at the caliper, it's already fixed at that point and you're trying to coil it up. So if you actually want your brake lines to be nice and straight like that, do it this way. You might have to obviously bleed more of your brakes because you're going to introduce air up here, but it's a better way to do it really. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Okay. That's all good to go. Put your wheel back on. I'm not going to put the cross-threaded one back on. I'll have to get a new one, or I'll see if I can have a look at that. Don't really want to mess around with a wheel nut coming off, because my brother-in-law's had that. He was driving down the road and somehow his wheel nuts came loose and his wheel came flying off. In fact, I was in the passenger seat and got overtaken by the wheel. Perfect. That's your 10-inch brake conversion for Classic Mini. Stick that back on its skate so I can move it around the garage easy. Job done. See it in there. So that's how you convert your Mini from 12 to 10-inch wheels in not very long. Nice one. Cheers.